Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp have been quite consistent at giving young players a chance in and around the first team if they've shown promise and potential. Trent Alexander-Arnold stands out as the best example of this, with the 22-year-old becoming one of the best right-backs in the Premier League since his senior debut in October 2016. There is definitely a pathway to the first team at Anfield under Klopp for young players, and the latest prospect who will be hoping to make his journey is Harvey Elliott, the 18-year-old who is on loan at Championship side Blackburn Rovers this season. This scout report will look at Elliott's traits, strengths and weaknesses in a bid to try and understand whether he could be a good fit for the Liverpool squad next season. So before we get into the analysis, if you are new or you haven't yet, make sure you are subscribed to the Total Football Analysis YouTube channel. You can leave this video a like and you can leave a comment if you have any recommendations, but now let's get stuck in. Elliott is a left-footed winger, standing at 5'7" and weighing 67 kilograms, who primarily plays on the right flank, but has been used on the left, behind a striker as well as up front by Tony Mowbray this season. His heat map reflects how he operates largely on the right, looking to come inside onto his preferred left foot. The 18-year-old largely prefers to stay out wide on the right to offer width to Blackburn, and this also results in him often being isolated in a 1v1 with the opposition's left back if the ball is switched out to him. As our analysis will show, Elliott is quite a creative player and not a traditional winger, in the sense that he is neither a high volume crosser nor a high volume dribbler. The first chart looks at expected goals and assists per 90 to provide an understanding of how likely it has been for these players to score or assist per 90 minutes this season. In Elliott's case, he is well above the middle quartile for the league for expected assists per 90 at 0.23, but is around the middle for expected goals per 90 with 0.10. This is of course reflected in his actual goals, 0.18 per 90, and assist 0.34 per 90 as well, and shows how Elliott is more of a creator than a goal scorer. In fact, his expected assists per 90 total is the third highest in our dataset, which is astonishing for a player who turned 18 this April. This chart should explain why he has such a high expected assist numbers this season. We have looked at passes into the final third and the penalty area per 90 this season, and Elliott has been well above the middle quartile for both these metrics. These are the sort of passes that can help create opportunities and break down defensive blocks, and the 18-year-old has been attempting more of them than most. Our next scatter plot looks at his dribbling performance. We have considered dribbles and defensive duels per 90, while the colour of the dot indicates the dribble success rate. It is immediately clear that Elliott is not a high volume dribbler. He's in the middle quartiles for both offensive duels per 90, 6.39, and dribbles per 90, 3.56. It must be noted, however, that he is quite a successful dribbler, with a success rate of just over 58%. This indicates that Elliott is not the kind of player who will look to regularly beat his man, but he does possess the ability to do so should the need arise. Our last chart looks at his crossing, which is another important trait for a winger. We have ranked these wingers for crosses per 90, while the colour indicates their success rate. Elliott has averaged 2.76 crosses per 90 this season, which is bang on the league's average as well, at a success rate of just over 39%. While this is a reflection of Blackburn's style of play, it does also show that Elliott is not the type of player to attempt too many crosses, but he is relatively good at picking out a teammate in the box when he does so. Again, this does fit in Liverpool's style of play, where it is the fullbacks who cross from wider and deeper positions, leaving the wingers to move in field. Our statistical comparisons have shown that Elliott is a player who is far likelier to create a goal scoring opportunity through a killer pass than by crossing the ball or going on a mazy run. We will now move on to his in-game examples to provide further insight to the 18-year-old's strengths, tendencies and weaknesses. We have already mentioned how Elliott will often stay out wide on the right when the ball is out on the left to help create width and open up the opportunity for a switch play. This is an example of that against Bournemouth, where Elliott's positioning allows Barry Douglas to find him a space with a switch in play. This is also the case when the ball is on his flank. Elliott will often stay wide to receive with his back to goal on the touchline in order to play a simple wall pass back, and this also creates space in field instead for a teammate to make a run into, as we can see in the image. However, given that he is a left-footed player, he will often come inside to receive the ball, and this opens up space on the flank for the right back to overlap. Looking at Liverpool, this is how Mohamed Salah operates to allow Trent Alexander-Arnold to overlap, and this is another example of a trait that could potentially help him fit into the Reds lineup. Elliott, who is circled, manages to drop into a more central position in an area between the left back, winger and central midfielder, and we can see how this could allow the Blackburn right back to advance if the left back gets attracted to him. So we can see from these examples, as well as his heat map provided earlier, that Elliott tends to operate between the touchline and the central spaces on the right. Elliott is extremely dangerous in transitions, as he's able to pick the right pass and set players through on goal. Having notched a couple of assists in this manner already this season, these couple of images highlight this. Note how Elliott is in a central position in both of these instances. This shows his willingness to roam in field and means that he's often in a dangerous position to play such passes when Blackburn counter-attack. When wide on the right, Elliott will often try and find a teammate in the box by coming onto his preferred left foot and chipping or lofting passes towards them. These examples show Elliott's ability to find teammates making runs into the box from in and around the right half space. These kind of lofted balls into the box are a great way to try and break defences down, especially when combined with intelligent movement. We have mentioned how Elliott has been used in central positions as well, and this example from the game against Norwich City, where he was played as the centre forward, showing his playmaking abilities. Even when on the right, Elliott rarely looks to make runs in behind, looking to receive the ball to his feet. This is the case when he's played centrally as well, with the former Fulham player dropping extremely deep from where he's able to play passes like this one. This pass out wide and behind the defence line shows the 18-year-old's vision and passing ability, which can be an asset when he's out wide as well. Given that Elliott is a left-footed player, he rarely looks to go down the line and cross. As we have seen, he will usually check back onto his left foot and pass into the box. However, when he does choose to go in behind and outside the fullback, the Liverpool loanee is quite capable of delivering with his right foot as well, with crosses from those positions usually being drilled low into the box. This is the case on the rare occasions when Elliott is on the left as well. He will go on the outside and cross low and hard into the box. Both these images are instances where Elliott nabbed assists from such crosses, and even though he's not a very frequent crosser, he does have the ability to make a difference from such deliveries. Elliott usually comes short to receive the ball to feet, coming off the right flank to receive and turn in field. We have already seen the range and variety of his passings from those positions, but he is also capable of dashing in behind via quick combinations with his teammates. While not being the most rapid, he has managed to get ahead of his marker and is able to run onto his teammate's release pass in behind, from where he sends in a low drilled cross into the box for his teammate to convert. So, for Harshal Patel's conclusion, Harvey Elliott has been one of the standout attacking players in the Championship this season, and his exploits are even more impressive given that he's only just turned 18 years old. The winger will be looking to end his season strongly in order to make a positive impression at his parent club, where there could be a squad spot available for him next season. And that there wraps up this player analysis. My name is RDF and it's been a pleasure recording this video for you guys. And don't forget, if you are new or you haven't yet, make sure you hit subscribe, you can leave a like or you can leave a comment if you have any recommendations or any feedback. It's been a pleasure, I will speak to you soon and stay safe.